Good afternoon. This is your real estate housing market report for the Kamloops area for March of 2026. The two areas in the lower mainland and the interior British Columbia that seem to be leading the way are the Kootenays and Kamloops area. And as you can see, these stats are very much different than the lower mainland or some of the other areas in the interior. If you look at the absorption rate, it's actually up. We're looking at the first quarter, the summaries of the first quarter here, and it's actually up from last year. It's up 5.1%. So it was 15. The average in the last 3 months is 15.4. The average in the last 3 months of 2025 was 14.6. Not a huge difference, but it's going in the right direction. Sales basically flat. They're up 0.5%. When we're comparing quarter to quarter. Average inventory down 6.4%. So again, that's an inventory. The demand is starting to increase relative to the incoming supply. Prices basically flat. It says it's up 0.7%, but basically flat. If you compare that over to the stats machine, the data bank that's all drawn out of, if you look at our absorption, 11.55 in January. So January was a very tough month right across the board. And they were still in Kamloops just below that balanced market range. And then it bumps up in February to 15.89%, so basically 16%. And then it bumps up in March to 18.76%. So that's starting to inch up very close to that the seller's market range, which is over 20%. Sales, you had 97. If you look at this, the sort of range, 97 sales in March, but you 44, quite low in January, 68 in February, going in the right direction, but it's still fairly low. 97 in March. If you look at last January, 60, 70, 78. So fairly flat last year. This year, an inclining rate for sales. So prices basically are going to remain flat in probably throughout British Columbia, unless there's something drastically changes. But we are going to see a very mild recovering market, a mild getting into that balanced, or in some areas like possibly Kamloops and the Kootenays, getting into that very low range of a seller's market, which is kind of a recovering market. It's not a correction. We're getting out of that correction phase. It's still too early to tell. So we've only got a couple of months of increasing market in a time when the market is supposed to increase. It's in the spring market, it always increases, but we are also seeing an increase in these statistics, in these metrics, that is above last year's increase. So there's a little bit of positive news in the market for the Kamloops area. So that's your review for Kamloops from March of 2026.